Hey, good morning. See, Monday, November 7th. Um, the Master Pattern Report, Dr. Bob Flower. Okay, so last week we had some consistent hits, the 31st for both silver and the S&P, and then we just had, as we predicted, choppy up, down, the second, the third, and the fourth to some degree. Well, silver had almost 2% moves on each of those days. The S&P really occurred on the third. We didn't have as much action on the fourth, so the third being the day before seemed to be the date that the energy was focusing upon. And of course, we've got this week, which we expect to be quite adventurous, starting with tomorrow. Um, and to Let's just take a look at a couple of the charts, which we are going to put up on our website, www.masterpattern.net. And the first one is, I think, the most interesting one, and that is of the U.S. dollar, okay, which we follow. And I'll just give you a little. You can see those. You see that pattern developing. I've drawn some arrows there to show different points. What that indicates to me is that what's going to happen here is the dollar is going to make a huge leap back up, and we think that is going to happen this week in conjunction with all of the other things that seem to be going on. So that would indicate that big problems with Europe, or possibly, as we said before, some sort of political event, an invasion or something monumental. When that occurs, the chances are that the market's going to drop. So what we're doing is we're putting on a couple of spreads. We've already done that with the S&P and with silver. We like those two in particular. We don't really play the interest rates. We follow them, but we really don't play them. So that's where we're at, and we're straddling both of those markets and expect significant moves. And I'm going to show you the chart on silver, which almost exactly reflects the S&P. So, and again, this will be up there, and you'll see that the dates on there. You have four dates on there. The 2 of November 8th and 2 on November 10th. Now, I'm sorry, 2 on November 11th. Now, the S&P is showing the 8th and the 10th. So 2 dates on the 8th, and actually 3 dates on the 8th and 1 on the 10th. So that would indicate to us again that this is going to be a very significant area in respect to these market moves. You'll also notice the green arrows on both of these charts, the dollar and the silver, which indicates we're at a top. Okay, and I think that top is going to be short-lived. I think what's going to happen is we're going to see a little bit more weakness here, maybe a day or so, and then we're going to see a big jump. Now, whether this jump in silver, which we've been anticipating, is going to occur this week, is still up in the air. We think it will, more so than to the downside. That sounds like a hedge. It's because we really don't know how to read the patterns that are in front of us. There seem to be a lot of conflicting patterns, except that they're showing a lot of action. Okay, so keep your powder dry. If in fact silver does take a big hit or a good drop down around that 32 level, by all means jump in, because I think it's going to take right back off from there. We need to see that pull back and charge forward. and the patterns are indicating that the accumulated energies within our cycles. Okay. Now, what is going on under? Why is it that that Iran is acting so particularly strong and arrogant? Well, it's because there seems to be some backroom shenanigans going on with the United States and Britain with Iran. If you notice that the United States pulled back on its sanction of the Iranian bank. I mean, if you're going to go after somebody, you go after somebody. You don't worry about what's going to happen afterwards. You deal with it later. So that is sort of an indicator that this whole thing with Israel, with this week, where they've been doing rehearsals for simulations of attacks on Iran, and the news leaked out on that a couple of months ago. And then the news leak, supposedly by these Mossad agents, that Iran, about the the two Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu were planning on an attack being leaked. I'm not buying that. I don't think that they're structured. I think that they're still trying to scare Iran into something, and Iran isn't buying it. Iran knows full well where it stands and where the United States and Britain and Israel stands. Does that mean that Israel won't attack? Oh no, doesn't mean that at all. It may well mean that at some time in the future, perhaps sooner than later, we are going to see them get hit if adventures and dialogue such as this doesn't work, and that may well happen. Now, the report, the nuclear IAEA is coming out tomorrow on just exactly where Iran stands, and that may be what's going to shake up the markets, or maybe move Israel into an attack mode. But right now, they're kind of still pussyfooting around. The United States is definitely pussyfooting around with this whole thing, and I don't see it going anywhere. Perhaps tomorrow it will, when this report comes out, and the report is certainly going to say that Iran is further along than what anybody thought. So let's see how that plays out. Let's see what happens with the market relative to this. I think the political climate is starting to clear. I think we're going to see, after the first two primaries in January, I think you're going to see a different type of approach to the economy, and not from the government, but from industry, and I think it's going to be positive in the sense of the stock market, but not positive in the sense of the real market, the Main Street market. Okay, so we've got time on that, but this week is definitely going to be a power week. We do have another power date coming up that we're looking at, and that one may be positive. That's at the end of November, beginning of December. Okay, November 27th, December 4th, but we're a little early on that. Let's just keep our eyes open, and let's bracket. Like I said, we're doing a spread on silver and on the S&P for this whole week. Let's see how that plays out. Keep your silver close, and be prepared perhaps to buy some more right here. Okay, have a great week.